Hello, and today we're gonna be. I want to type the Night Lords cards. I looked at every single one of them earlier to this morning, but I didn't have enough time. I want to talk about the legendaries first, each one. So, let's first talk about Conrad Kurz. He has a pretty decent ability. I like. It's just his ability's decent for sure. I like it. Like, yeah, but I think I prefer the original Conrad Kurz ability to give minus foot to an enemy. It just feels like a little more natural. But this one's very good too though. Like if like your opponent has like a card that you worry about like it getting big or like example like let's say your opponent has a card that could kill you next turn or a card with terror like this guy and you have like a 3 attack troop with 3 attack. You could just use his ability on this on like something like this guy and like drop it to 1 health and give him like minus and give it to attack. So decent. The Lord's Knight, I really have no doubts about that. This guy, he's actually really good. Kind of lots of stats. Terror, Flake, Unstoppable, and Murder do 2 damage to the enemy war. It's really good actually, but I feel like you guys kind of just like kind of buff him up if you keep him on board. So you just gotta kind of keep buffing him up. Just a glimpse of death. It's actually pretty decent. Like I was able to I just played too much right now. I was able to draw like 3 cards. Right? Yeah, draw three cards each time I played this. It's a decent card, just a kind of a card setup. This guy, he's actually pretty good. I haven't played him, but if I face enemies and play this card, pretty decent. So you could attack like with your warlord, and like just give -1 to like have other troops attack slowly, putting up damage. This guy, he's really good. Contact instead has terror, decent. Bills has murder. Your warrior gains +1, and that's pretty good. So like when combat occurs, you kind of just helping him build up to this, so he has like more terror. And Panoply of Slaughter, it's really good. Pretty not really good, pretty decent for sure. Decent for sure. Like your warrior gains +2 during your turn at terror, so it's pretty decent for like smaller warlords like 7 Tarnotos, like the other guy. Pretty decent though. Not the best, but not the worst. Decent. This guy, I like him actually kind of a lot, as he's kind of helped me survive attacks. Like I fought against the Conrad Curse of Penelope of Slaughter. He was actually the one that actually helped me survive a lot. Decent card too. It's like murder. So like you could kill like an enemy troop, and then if it deals the excess damage, you would turn another one. So like let's say the enemy has like 2 troops on board, a big one and a small one, like a troop with like 2 attack and 2 health. This will just attack with the smaller one, just attack the smaller one, and kill with the bigger one. It's pretty decent. The Night Hunter, it's a decent transformation, stealth, but like no battle honor for none of the battle honor. So I don't know. Gates +1, decent that gates the +1, and it has terror. So yeah, so definitely could match up with the Penelope Slaughter. Epics next. Got the this guy's okay. Sevatar's actually pretty decent. I also like the artwork a lot. That artwork's pretty cool. But it's a decent one draw troop for your deck. So like if this ability's pretty decent too. Just like gain +2 to your next turn. I feel like if you pair this card up with legendary with this card, Mercy and Forgiveness, like you could on turn 5 you like use your ability twice to gain like +6 attack the next turn. And since you have Bloodthirst, pretty decent. How I fear is actually really good. So if, like you're not so if you're kind of like not playing like a very big troop deck base, this card's a pretty decent one to use. So like you basically if you're not playing a troop deck base, like you're gonna have like 6 troops in there, you could definitely use this card for sure. Cause like if you use it, like a big enemy troop, like it's just going to take up a spot. So your opponent only has like 5 spots left to put troops in play instead of like 6. So pretty decent. These guys are actually kind of decent too. They're actually pretty decent for like if like you're playing against like an enemy that swarms your decks. Like yeah, but this was pretty decent to kind of stops it. This card is actually whenever I played a common curse game, this card was actually the main reason why I was able to turn my combat curse. Uh, uh Enforcer Ultimate Legion Praetor, he's pretty decent actually. Got some nice rally. So like if there's like a enemy for troop with like 2 health, you can kill it, and if it has like 2 health, then nice you get that murder. And this murder is actually pretty decent. It's like the Flama command for it's like this guy. And I actually like this card a lot, so that's kind of a nice one. The Captain Nuke, pretty decent. He's okay, big. This card's pretty decent actually. Murder gives cat attacks all. It's kind of like Dravis, but like it requires is but it's a murder. But I feel like they kind of need to buff it. Like I feel like you could use like a terrorist because of its low health. These guys pretty decent. Terror, stealth, ambush, give my suit to all enemies. It's a card. But I feel like but honestly, I kind of want to have it like how I kind of like feel like I think this could use like, kind of like a murder too, like this one, like a murder gain like +2. This one, it's I found out that like I was trying to get a card by Curse the Penelope of Slaughter. This card, so I had so basically had that card. Sorry, I'll show you right now. This right here, this card right here, and I used this card right here. So I gave him 0 attack, but like the next turn, but when it was his turn, he had +2 since the penalty of slaughter gives him the +2. So it's not like both have like 0/0. It's kind of like the kind of like the +2 kind of negates it. But the epics are pretty decent. Legendaries, I feel like the epics are kind of better than the epic than the rares. Than the epics are kind of better than legendaries. Core Fighter Orphan the Coward. I actually like that they kind of made a event warlord a permanent warlord. So I think he actually looks pretty cool and decent. I bought him in the shop today. I like the battle honor that gains like we he was in the game, but I think it's pretty decent though. And for Cowboy, actually pretty decent. His shield's actually a nice touch too. The Waffle Legionary Lar, decent card. Give -2 to enemy. This turn, nice. So like it's just like this turn, but like you still use it a lot. It's a pretty good card. A passive campaign, decent card. You give -2 to all enemies this turn. I like it. You could use it for like against like if you have a full deck and like your opponent has big troops, but like also has like a full deck, a full team. You could definitely use this card to kill a lot of them and have a lot of your troops survive too. Surgery Core, decent terror murder, deal 2 damage to random enemy, decent for sure. Just a little low health. But I do want to skip some of the cards and talk about this one though. This one just puts in play 2 surgical cores and gives a flake, and I actually love this card right here. You put in play 2 cards that you have like the attack, and sorry, and it just gives a flake, which is really nice. So like you like let's say like your opponent has like a enemy troop with like 5 health, just drop this, try attack with both of them, and you get at least 1 murder off. This card too is actually pretty decent. It reminds me of this card right here, except it deals 1 damage and it costs 1 more, has 1 more attack, but it deals 1 damage and gives it 2 extra 2. But it does not have terror though. But that's fine. Paradox of Atrocity, actually a really good card. If and especially if like kind of like a couple of murder cards in there, very big damage next turn. Attack on Tuscaloosa, it's a good card too actually. I like it. Like 3 damage, two damage to all enemies, pretty decent. Ball power, we finally got a copy of it. Decent. And then this card's really good too. So like just give +1 to your units this turn. That's nice. And if you pair it up with that 1 energy comic card, I'll show you right now. If you pair it up with this one, like turn if you played that card turn 5 and you play this one, you give it stealth and you also give it that +2, which is nice. Sorry about that. Just decent card. This guy's 2 Master Cargos. Cargos. I like it. Stealth, unstoppable, gains +2 this turn, ambush. So like you could deal 5 damage to an enemy, whichever enemy you want. The next turn just has the attack, but still decent. But like she has like the next turn it just has the attack. But if an enemy, but it's still you get that like you still get a nice 5 damage off, and you get to still hit the troop. You get to have the troop still, but him having +5. Wait, no, sorry. It's a decent card for like just like you could attack the enemy warlord to, like the turn, and then like the enemy warlord has to like use another troop since it survives. I think this card's decent. Automontara Bodyguard. It's actually a pretty good card, especially if like your opponent has a bunch of like low health, like 1 damage troops, like swarm decks, like a swarming deck with a bunch of like low health troops, like low attack troops, like 1 attack, like 2 attack. Very good card to use against that, because if they keep attacking him, he just keeps getting that +1 health. So pretty decent. Haunted Dreams, I still love that card. Great one. This one is actually pretty good. It's kind of like Haunted Dreams, except it has 5 health and it has 1 more health but 2 less attack. But it's instead of having rally, and the Jade's unit have +1 and deals 3 damage. Kind of like the Rhino they have, except that it costs 1 less. And it has 1 attack and 1 health less, and it draws a troop instead of dealing damage. And it's a pretty good card too. If you're running a terror deck, you could definitely play this card with a terror deck because it's really good. When you talked about this one, I just like that card a lot. This one's pretty good too. I haven't played it, but based on how the murder trade works, would actually be pretty useful too if you're running a murder deck. This guy, I like him a lot too. I like his ambush. He gains terror +1. So like, since there's not that many anti-stealth cards, very good choice. This one, he's dangerous for frontline. His ability, like, yeah, you could probably run it in a terror deck or like a murder deck or like a terror deck, and it could work. Cause like you could you attack with you attack with a troop that's terror, like kill an enemy troop, and then like just keep doing that. This one is really good too. It's murder, flank and murder, do 2 damage to all enemies. Decent card, like it, like if your enemy has like a full board of troops, to like at least like 2 health or less, you could get rid of it. Like with this card, or like just deal good damage across the board. This one, it could be really good because that's terror. So like if your enemy has like a bunch of troops that have like 8 attack, like you just attack with this guy at least once, and then like if he attacks like another enemy troop, it could just keep activating until it kills the entire board and just attacks the enemy warlord. So I think that's pretty good, and it could be good for war right, but it's based on like how lucky you are with that. We're talking about this one, but it's still pretty decent though. It gives stealth to a troop, and if it has murder, it gives +2, which is decent. Like you could use on this guy like turn like 4, so give him that +4 to make him a 5 to make him a 5/3. So he has terror, so which is nice. So he can also so he can also turn on that murder to give can attack. These guys are pretty decent. They give +1 to a friendly unit turn. I like it. It's a pretty good 2 drop. 2/2 energy. Rally give +1 to a friendly unit this turn. Like you could use it on opening turn, or you could save it for like a bigger drop. This one is actually also really good. Like if you're playing a terror deck, you could definitely use this a lot. Light Curse is also really good because like if your opponent has like a 3 health troop, you can attack it and you can play this card. Do 2 damage and you get to draw 2 cards. This one too, I actually like this one. He has the ambush, combines 2 to a random enemy this turn, not until your next turn, but still it's really good though. He's a 3 energy, 3/2 unstoppable. With the ambush itself, I like that. It's a pretty decent card. These guys I love them a lot. This card's actually pretty decent. If you have a full hand full of like cards that are more expensive, like 5, 6, 7, 8. A very good deck. And then this one, it's pretty decent. Do 2 damage. 4-2 for energy flake murder. Do 2 damage to the enemy warrior. Decent card, like it. It's kind of like this card. It's kind of like the Unmaster Guldo, just like 1 energy more and like 1 health less. But it's pretty decent though. It's a pretty decent like replacement. But the shot's decent, Flex shot's decent. Market warmongers, you could definitely use that card if like you're trying to win a murder deck with combat curse. Like you could just play that, like get 3 troops of murder, so you have better chance of doing that, activating the murder trait. This one is good too. It's just gives. It's kind of like the dreadnought they had. It's kind of like the Nightlord's dreadnought, the terror of Thomas, I think, or the terror of, I forget what it's called. It's kind of like this card right here. This one here. It's kind of like a Reaper of Kaldarak, except it's 4 energy and it's a common. So I think that's pretty decent. And until your next turn, so like I said, this one's actually pretty decent too. Like if you pair this guy up with this, you give him himself and you make him 7. You make him a 7/4, and he has terror murder. And he has terror and he has a murder, gains +2, so pretty decent. Like you can use that to build up like a deck. Uber actually, Bartek actually really good. It's like the Imperial Fist 6 energy tank, the 5/5 that deals 2 damage to the other enemies. It's like that, but it has 1 less attack, but it deals 3, and instead of 2 damage to 3 random enemies, it deals 3 damage to 2 random enemies. Decent card for sure. These guys, I haven't played them, but they look, they're kind of decent, I guess. Unstoppable and Cleave 2. Kind of expensive for a set of 5. Kind of worth it if you don't have like any legendaries or epics. But but if you have like the full collection, probably wouldn't play. The price of the fight, it's a pretty really good card actually. I like it. Destroy the enemy troop and just give -2 attack to adjacent units. Like you could use it on a big troop and give the enemy warlord like -2 attack, so we can give him 0 attack and give you if he had a troop against adjacent to it, get that one also -2. So I like that card. This one, the Tyrus Skirmish take, it's pretty decent. Deal 4 damage to 3 random enemies. I know people don't like playing these things, but sometimes I do, because like this one's decent. 7 energy, 6/7. Like it could definitely survive and deal. So you could probably get some worth. Like examples of ones I like using is it's this right here. Wait, sorry. It's this one right here. It's this right here. I give good value from it sometimes when I play this 5/6 6 energy job. I use the ability. It helps you. If it survives, it's I deal pretty. I get good value from it. Like I just it's decent. I personally like using like servo stuff. Not all of them are good, but some are decent. Like the Ultra Marines ones, I like that one. Decent. This right here, it's a very big card. 11 attack, 9 health. Murder's pretty decent though. Doing 8 damage to random enemy. Like if your opponent has like no troops, you just deal that 11 damage face to him. Or if he does have a troop, you could attack it, get the terror off, and deal 8 damage to him. Pretty good card though. But those are my initial thoughts on the Night Lords. I think they're okay. I think they're kind of a I think they're kind of a little bit better than the original ones, but I do like the original ones a lot better though. I don't. I think it's just because like I play very well with them. I've also been doing well. Also, I got the Black Friday deal for the free icon. I actually love that one a lot. I like the details on it, and I like just like, oh, I just like it a lot. That's all I gotta say. I just like it a lot. But yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see y'all next time.